Hello again, it's Monster Forge again, and I'm back with another comic book review this time. It's another Alterna comic book. It's one of my favorites of the new books coming out from Alterna. This book came out just this past month, and the new issue should be coming very soon. This book is gorgeous. In case you haven't seen my other video so far that I posted about Alterna Comics. Alterna Comics is a smaller, independent publisher that publishes comic books on newsprint, which is something that we haven't seen in comics since, I guess, like the 90s or something like that. It might have even been earlier than that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. There's been a while that I haven't collected comic books because they just don't appeal to me much, and they're expensive as crap. Alterna comic books, a regular 22-page, or I think it's 22 pages. Yeah, 22-page comic book is like $1.50. If this was put out by DC or Marvel, it would be like $4 minimum. Unless it was like a special, like, oh, this is number one, it might be $8. It's just ridiculous. And to me, this is better than anything that Marvel's putting out right now, honestly. I'm not saying that just, hyperbole or anything like that. This is the real deal. This is good stuff. I like it. I love it. Want some more of it. This is Eric Henson's Eden. It's part one of a 4-part limited series. The characters were created by Eric Henson, and I haven't done the research on this. I just noticed it when I opened this up just now. Eden was created by Eric and Jamila Henson. I don't know if, what the relation is between two, husband, wife, brother, sister. Not sure. I'll look into that. Anyway, most Alterna books don't have this inside page that kind of sets up the story, but you kind of need it in this one because the story starts in the middle of the action. And I like it because you kind of get the idea really quickly. This is I'll get to the synopsis in a minute. Stories by Eric Henson, pencils by Eric Henson, inks by Michael Babinski, colors by Stephen Downer, letters by Robert Doan, and edited by Todd DeZago and Jamila Henson. Quite a team they've got together. The cover, logo, and layout was by Christian D. Leaf. I like giving credit to folks. A lot of people don't think about, who was the colorist on a book? Who did the letters? Nobody ever thanks them, but the colorist and the letterers and the layout people and the editors have such a huge job in comic books. They're the ones that keep things straight in the story. They're the ones that check, and they read them over and over and over and check for errors and such. It takes a quality editor to make a good book. Same with the letters, same with the colors, same with the inkers, pencils, and story. Every part of a comic book has to come together to make a complete product. Anyway, all that aside, I'm done preaching. This is a story set in the future, 2714 AD. There's this invasion of Earth by these aliens called the Nomads, and the humans fought. They resisted them, and the woman who became the leader of she was the field commander of the rebellion. Her name is Nariah. I just pronounced it Nariah Willis. She's just super tough and awesome. I really like her character. But she fought as hard as she could, and still they had to go underground and basically form a resistance underground. The aliens, anybody that they didn't kill, they turned into slaves. And she is dedicated to finding a place where humans can live away from the influence of the Nomads. So she hears from other alien species that have also faced the Nomads of a place called Eden. It's a planet where refugees can go and live in peace. And so she goes with her little team of Christian, who you see on the cover here. This is Christian, and this is Klaatu. And Klaatu's really cool. I like the name. If you know your sci-fi history, you'll know Klaatu was one of the names, or one of the words used to activate or deactivate the robot in Gort in The Earth Stood Still, the day the Earth stood still. And also the same phrase, Klaatu Barada Nikto, you know that in the Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. And George Lucas used it as one of the species of aliens. He called him a Klaatu. This guy right here, I think, is my favorite thing dealing with Klaatu, because he's a really cool guy. But this is the small team, and when they went to the planet Eden, they crashed, and her son, Avion, he was killed in the explosion when the ship crashed. But she just knows in her heart that he's still alive. And so they're searching for him. And just look at this artwork. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Everything about it. The pencils are tight. The inks are just really, really good. Very solid stuff. And the colors are fantastic. It's digitally colored, so it's got some nice little glowy effects on things. But this is your introduction to the team here as they come in, Christian, Klaatu, and Nerea. And she is tough as nails. Like, she ain't afraid of nobody. And she's the kind of tough I like. She's tough without telling you she's tough. She's just tough. Like, she doesn't put up with crap from anybody. And she's a mama hen too, or a mama bear. Like, when anybody messes with her baby, she's about to lay down the smack. And her son, I love mothers, and it really appeals to me that she's a mother, which is not something that's in a whole lot of comic books and science fiction and all. It kind of makes me think of Ripley from Aliens, the way she was about Newt. But anyway, they're going to this oracle, and this is the I'm trying to remember. The Wall of Heralds is what it's called, and it's this alien hive mind thing, and only one of the aliens of Klaatu's species can activate it, and it's supposedly there's a price to pay for activating it, but he does it. He's willing to sacrifice for her to find her son. And that really endeared him to me. Like, this is not his child, it's not his species, but he's willing to do what's necessary. This is the kind of heart that I like to see in a hero. And so you've already got to. Now, Christian doesn't really show much of a backbone through much of this, but because he's kind of the comic relief, because it is kind of a dark story in the sense that there's a lot at stake, kind of serious. So Christian's kind of a goofball. But you do see, as the story goes on, he'll show his worth as it goes on. But I love this little part right here. As he activates this thing, this giant worm swallows them up, and he says, Klaatu says, "Stay calm, friends. The Hilo worm will tunnel us directly towards the forbidden caverns of Roa. Its hive is there, no doubt, right beneath the surface of the planet." And Christian's like, "So you knew this would happen?" More or less. I mean, I love it. It's cute. It's not like over the top silliness, but it's just kind of a good little laugh while you're going on. It makes me think of Star Wars. And this book really, you can almost see these aliens and the people existing in the Star Wars universe, but it's not derivative. It's got its own thing. I don't want to show you what happens there, but I do want to show you that Nerea, her name, Nerea, she is tough. Let me check that out. She's so awesome. But as the story goes on, I don't want to show you too much of that, but they run across this guy who is really interesting because he could just be like, the big muscle dude they have to fight and everything. He's like a really bad creep. And I like that even Narath talks about his smell. Like he really stinks. And she remembers the stench from the ship where her son disappeared. And she knows he has something to do with it. I thought it was a nice little touch there. But, yeah, he's a bad dude. And, she's going to have to deal with him. And I don't want to show you any more of the book. I mean, I want to show you the whole book, but I want you to get some enjoyment out of it too. But he's a lot more interesting of a character than it just seems. He's not just a tough guy. There's something else going on as the story goes on. But it's good stuff. I don't want to show you the end. It's a good book. It's really good. The artwork's fantastic. And I'll tell you something about Eric Henson. Super nice guy. I started following him on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. He has a YouTube channel that you need to check out. But I just told him I really liked the book, and he's just super nice, super open, friendly guy. Appreciates the customers, and good Lord, that's important nowadays in comic books. He's just really, really, really has a heart for the folks that buy his book. And I mean, from the few interactions, I believe he's the kind of guy, if you said, well, I just didn't like this about this or whatever, he would talk to you about it, and that's important. That's really important. Just really cool, really rare. But anyway, I'm going to put a link below in the description to Eric Henson's YouTube channel, which is fantastic because he runs a how to draw section on that's the bulk of his videos, but a very simple videos about how to draw really great pictures of superheroes and villains and monsters and stuff. His latest one he posted was Hellboy, and it turned out fantastic. But check it out. Link will be below. Check out the video. Great stuff. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on Facebook. He's a cool guy, and his artwork needs to be supported. And the other folks that are involved in this too, check them out too. They're all really talented folks and well worth your time. Alterna Comics, as I said before in another video, it's a newsprint comic, very fantastic price. Not available in all shops, but it should be. If you go to your local comic book shop, support your local comic book shop and ask them to carry Eric Henson's Eden or any of the other Alterna titles. Check out Alterna online. Their website is alternacomics.com, and there you'll find this list of comic shops across the country and even in other countries that carry Alterna Comics. And hit them up. If you don't have a local comic book shop, you can actually purchase Alterna Comics online. But where you can support your local comic book shops, they need your support because it's a tough time to be running a comic book shop right now. And so support those guys because they're the ones that are bringing this stuff to you. They make it possible for companies like this to bring fantastic comic book entertainment. And really, guys, $1.50. That's a fraction of the price of a mainstream comic book right now. And you get high quality. So I can't